When you crave crispy roast pork, do you usually assume it requires pork belly and an oven? Today, I'm sharing a home-style recipe that defies convention. Super crispy roast pork made directly from a pork leg roast. No belly meat needed. Just look at this roast fresh off the heat and resting on the cutting board. The moment the knife slices through, that loud, satisfying crunch is enough to make your mouth water instantly. Take a close look at the cross-section. The skin is golden, translucent, and incredibly crispy, while the meat inside is firm yet springy. Every bite is bursting with rich, meaty flavor, without any of the greasiness often found in pork belly. Even better, when paired with our special sand ginger, lemon, and garlic sauce, which cuts through the richness with its tanginess and enhances the flavor with a fresh sweetness. The explosion of crispy, savory, sour, and fresh notes on your palate is absolutely divine. However, I'm sure many of you have tried making crispy roast pork at home and run into common pitfalls. Why does everyone else's skin turn out crispy and melt in the mouth, while yours ends up tough and rubbery, or even burnt and bitter? Why is their meat tender and juicy, while yours turns out dry, stringy, and bland? Especially when using leaner cuts like the leg, how do you achieve that perfect balance of crispy skin and flavorful meat? The secret to making this dish, with its crispy skin, flavorful meat, and rich taste without the greasiness, lies in the details. From selecting and marinating the meat and prepping the skin to mastering the frying temperature. Want to know how to use standard kitchen tools to fry up crispy roast pork that rivals the best Cantonese roast meat shops? Want the recipe for that soul-satisfying sand ginger and lemon sauce that cuts the grease and boosts the flavor? Follow along step by step. I guarantee you'll succeed on the first try and wow your whole family. Place the cleaned, whole piece of pork leg into a pressure cooker, add water, seal the lid tightly, and bring it to a boil over high heat until the pressure builds up. Pressure cooking is incredibly fast. Just a few minutes under pressure is enough to thoroughly cook a large, thick cut of pork leg meat all the way through. Once cooked, remove the meat and cut the large piece into smaller chunks. The size of these pieces is crucial. They shouldn't be too thick or large, or the heat won't penetrate the center during frying, making it difficult to get the skin translucent and crispy. However, they shouldn't be too small either. If they are too small, the moisture evaporates instantly during frying, making them prone to burning and turning bitter. Cutting the meat evenly into 4 pieces, as I've done here, is just right. After cutting the meat into 4 pieces, it's time for the initial seasoning and marinating. Take an appropriate amount of salt and rub it evenly over the surface of each piece of pork. Use your hands to thoroughly massage the salt into the lean meat, the sides, and the skin, ensuring the seasoning penetrates the surface. Once salted, take a standard dinner fork or a bamboo skewer and prick the pork all over, especially the tough skin and the thick lean sections, creating a dense pattern of small holes. This step of pricking holes is the key to achieving the perfect crispy skin. Pricking the lean meat allows the salt to penetrate deep into the muscle fibers, ensuring the interior is savory and flavorful. Meanwhile, pricking the skin not only helps the salt absorb but also breaks down the skin's tight structure. This paves the way for the skin to puff up into a mass of crispy, popcorn-like bubbles during frying. After pricking, set the meat aside to marinate. After pricking the holes, pour a little white vinegar over the pork and rub it evenly over every surface, making sure to coat the skin thoroughly. Adding white vinegar acts as a crucial trigger for achieving that crispy skin. The acidic components in the white vinegar soften the keratin in the pork skin and alter its surface pH level. During the subsequent high-temperature frying process, the white vinegar-coated pork skin dehydrates rapidly. Upon heating, the surface bubbles up densely, much like popcorn, creating a stunning, uniform, tiger skin crispiness. Moreover, the white vinegar not only neutralizes any gamey odor but also enhances the texture, making the fried meat incredibly crispy and delicious. It becomes light and airy, melting in the mouth rather than feeling rock-hard or tough on the teeth. After applying the white vinegar, drizzle on some soy sauce and spread it evenly over every part of the meat and skin. The soy sauce not only imparts a rich, savory, salty flavor to the lean meat, but also provides an appetizing base color. This ensures the finished roast takes on a brilliant golden red hue that looks absolutely mouth-watering. Once evenly coated, let the 4 pieces of pork rest and marinate for a few minutes. As the meat rests, the salt, rubbed in earlier, the white vinegar and the savory soy sauce meld together, penetrating deep into the meat fibers through the dense network of small holes we pricked with the fork. This process ensures the meat is thoroughly seasoned inside and out, free of any unpleasant odors, while also bringing the pork skin to the optimal state of dehydration and pH balance for frying. While the meat marinates and absorbs the flavors, heat up the oil. We are ready to begin the most exciting and aromatic stage, frying the skin until it puffs up perfectly. Once the meat is fully marinated, it's time to fry. Pour a generous amount of cooking oil into the wok and heat it over a high flame. You must be extremely careful when adding the meat to the pan. Since the pork surface contains moisture, the contact between oil and water causes violent splattering, which can easily burn you. Here's a safety tip. Use one hand to slowly slide the meat into the pan along the rim, while using the other hand to hold a lid as a shield in front of your face and body. Let's start by carefully adding the first piece of meat. Immediately cover the pot to let it fry and steam for a moment. Once the initial intense sizzling subsides slightly, quickly open the lid, add the remaining pieces one by one, and swiftly cover the pot again. After all the meat is in, keep the lid on and let it fry undisturbed for a few minutes. Do not be tempted to flip the meat frequently at this stage. When the meat first hits the oil, the moisture content is highest and the splattering is most intense. Frequent flipping not only causes hot oil to splash everywhere, posing a risk of burns, but also interferes with the process of the pork skin heating up, blistering, and setting properly. Just listen quietly with the lid on. Initially, you'll hear loud, violent crackling and popping sounds, but these will gradually quiet down. When the violent sizzling fades to a faint sound, it indicates that most of the surface moisture has evaporated, and it is safe to open the lid. Once the lid is off, use a spatula to gently turn the meat over, flipping the skin or meat side that was facing down to face up, to ensure even cooking on all sides. Next, maintain medium-low heat and continue frying patiently, turning the meat occasionally. The biggest mistake when making this crispy roast pork is rushing the process. Never turn up the heat just to speed things up. If the heat is too high, the surface will burn and turn bitter before the skin becomes crispy. Meanwhile, the lean meat inside will lose all its moisture, becoming dry, tough, and unpalatable, preventing you from achieving that perfect texture of crispy skin and tender meat. Simply be patient, turning the meat every minute or two, and fry until every side is a tempting golden brown and covered in the crispy, blistered texture known as tiger skin. Then, it's ready to be taken out of the pot. Take a close look. When the pork leg meat turns golden and crispy all over, the fat has partially rendered out, and the skin is covered in a uniform, dense pattern of tiger skin blisters. It has reached the perfect state and is ready to be taken out. A quick reminder here, be careful not to fry it until it becomes too dry. Pork leg meat is naturally lean. If over-fried to the point where all the moisture is driven out, the meat becomes incredibly dry, tough, and rubbery, completely losing that exquisite contrast of a crispy exterior and tender interior. Once the pork skin turns golden and puffs up, and the meat looks firm and appetizing, quickly scoop the pieces out with a slotted spoon and set them on a plate. Listening to that crispy sound while the meat is still hot is simply therapeutic. After removing the meat, we thoroughly clean the cutting board. Since it was just used for raw meat, you can pour a pot of boiling water directly over it to scald and rinse it. This sanitizes the board and removes grease, making it much more hygienic and safe to use. Once the cutting board is prepped, place the golden, crispy fried pork leg on it and use a sharp cleaver to cut it into smaller pieces. Just listen. With every stroke of the knife, you hear that satisfying, crispy crunch sound. Look at that cross-section. Golden, crispy on the outside, and tender on the inside. Doesn't just seeing and hearing it make your mouth water uncontrollably? Once sliced, arrange the pieces neatly on a plate and set them aside. Next, let's prepare the soul of the dish, the dipping sauce. Finely mince half a preserved lemon into a paste, then add minced garlic and chopped sand ginger. Stir in white sugar, white vinegar, soy sauce, oyster sauce, and a splash of dark soy sauce for color. Mix all the ingredients well. Pour the mixture into a pan, add a little water, and simmer briefly. This allows the aromas of the sand ginger and lemon to fully release. Then, transfer the sauce to a serving dish. This sweet and sour, flavor-enhancing dipping sauce pairs perfectly with the crispy pork. It's delicious, refreshing, and cuts through the richness of the meat. Even children who usually struggle to finish their meals will happily devour 2 big bowls of rice with this dish. No coaxing required. If you found this tutorial helpful, please remember to like and share the video. Subscribe to the Chinese Kitchen Flavors channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our weekly updates on traditional Chinese cuisine and home-style dishes. See you next time.